Hello YouTube, it's me, Hanna, bringing you another kit review. This time on the Clash of Steel two-person starter box for Flames of War that we unboxed here on the channel a couple of weeks ago. As usual, I will be following my typical format, looking at the models via their quality, ease of going together, and detail, as well as what bits and little doodads they might have. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So we will start things off nicely with the Soviets. So as you can see, there are about four different vehicle kits in this box, as well as a sprue of 2 infantry, which we'll get into as well. We'll start off with the easiest one though, and that is this, the T-34 kit that comes in this box. It's the exact same kit as the T-34 we reviewed, or I reviewed just 3 or 4 weeks ago. So, yeah, not much really to see here. We've already seen it. We've already been over it. So we'll move on. Next up, we'll start with one of my favorites, the IS-2. I love this tank, and I'm so happy to finally have one. I've been wanting to get my hands on one for a while now, and so now I finally do. I look forward to building this, painting it up. But moving on, we can see that there's 2 different hull types. I suspect these are for the 2 versions of the IS-2, possibly to build the IS-1, but I think they're really just to build the earlier and the late version of the IS-2. I think they're designated by like IS-2 or IS-2 late. Yeah, so you can see there's an amazing amount of detail on here. The quality is just beautiful. We've got our 2 different guns here, so I think it might be actually to do the IS-1, because that looks like the IS-1's, I think it was an 85mm gun, and that's definitely the IS-2's 122mm gun. And then we've got a couple of different mantlets here, turret option. Looks like it's only 1 turret option though, so that's interesting. So detail-wise, beautiful kit. I'm looking forward to painting this. I love to see when they add little like bits like that. You know, the grills are nicely pronounced, rivets are nicely pronounced, engine bay, travel lock for the gun, mantlet's got a lot of detail, turret has detail. Looks like there's a nice little bow machine gun you can get there for the this version of the IS-2. No, never mind, sorry. That is for the back of the turret, because the IS-2 and IS-1 do not have bow machine guns. What am I talking about? So we've got our hatch options. That one's very nice, very detailed, and it looks like, I hope, no, it looks like, unfortunately, this is not one of those hatches where they actually do detail the other side, but that's fine. I mean, there's barely any hatch that actually shows over. But they do have the little periscope that would be on the inside. So that's nice. That's a nice bit of detail. And, of course, there are actually 2 sprues for the IS-2, because it does come with this track sprue, much like the T-34. You can see the Dushka machine guns, some extra track links, the hull piece, your fuel and oil drums, and then of course your wheels, which again just beautifully detailed. That always makes me so happy to see that, just all those little spokes in the road wheels and stuff like that. It's great. Blank on the other side, of course, but tracks also a nice amount of detail. And the nice thing I'm liking about this one is they've actually done it where the sprue goes along the top of this plastic part here of the tread, so that when you're cleaning up, you don't accidentally tear away part of the tread on the top here. It's fine when it's on the bottom. You don't really see that. So, yeah. In terms of putting it together, ease of build, it's a battlefield, typical battlefield kit. Battlefront kit, sorry. Typical Battlefront kit. So, again, you've got your hull, you've got your 2 wheels, you pick your top hull, turret house, mantlet, gun, that kind of thing. If you go on their website, it'll tell you how to build the model of the IS-2 that you want. But this actually looks like a fairly simple tank, even for some of the more optional and modular tanks. Unfortunately, it does seem that unless you want to magnetize these top hull parts, you're kind of stuck just building one, and that's it, which is a bit of a shame. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of bits for this. You basically just have this little bit of stowage, the oil and fuel drums, and then the Dushkas, but other than that, that's it. You don't really get much. I'm also a bit ashamed to see that you don't even get like a log to put on the back of this. That would have been such a cool little bit, but oh wow. I'm gonna be honest, I love the IS-2, and the detail on this kit looks great, but especially with some of the newer stuff that Battlefront's been doing, or at least some of their other kits, I can't help but feel that this one's really lacking in modularity, and I guess it's not lacking in modularity, but it's definitely lacking in uh, bits and little doodads to add on to it, which is a bit of a shame. It's not the worst kit I've seen from them, but it's not the best either. Next up, one that I'm really happy to finally see in plastic, because before you could only really get these kinds of things in metal and resin, is this new OT-64 Scout Car. It's very nicely detailed, as you can see. It goes together super simply. It's a one sprue kit, and it's even smaller than those Humvees I reviewed. You've got your two halves of the left and right, and then your hull, and that's it. And then you get to choose your turret. And for your turret, you've got a couple of options. You've got what I believe is a machine gun there. That's the douche machine gun, and then a anti-tank rifle. And that's it. That's this kit. Super easy, as always, also magnetized. So I'm going to be honest, it doesn't have as much detail as I normally like on a Battlefront kit, but it's also so small I can't really complain, and it does still have a fair amount of detail on there. But for what it is, for those Scout Car, I'm going to have to give this top marks because I'd much rather have this in plastic like this than in metal and resin. So this is just, I'm so happy about this. Last up, we have the opposite to the IS-2, or not really the opposite, but another variant of the IS series, the ISU 152/122, because of course, this can actually make both the ISU 152 and ISU 122. The difference is which gun you choose. So this one here, that's for the 152, the 152 millimeter howitzer. That's for the 122 millimeter like heavy howitzer / anti-tank gun. Again, this is even an easier tank to build than the IS-2. You literally just slap on your cupola, slap your mantlet on, this little back plate goes there, you pick your gun, and you're done. Sadly, unless you want to futz around with magnetizing that gun, which in my opinion is going to be a real pain, you are stuck with just whichever version you build. There's no way to make this thing modular. Yeah. But that's in my opinion that's fine. You don't usually need too many ISU 152s or ISU 122s. So I think if you have you buy one box of each, build 5 ISU 152s, 5 ISU 122s, you're pretty much going to be good. It uses the same hull and tracks as the IS-2, so that's kind of it. There's not really much more to see than that. Again, a lot of my same problems with the ISU 152, or not ISU 152, the IS-2 are present. I do love the detail on this thing, though. I'm starting to think that the IS-2 and this thing are both some of their older kits, just because I built some of these a long time ago when I first was getting into the hobby, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same kind of kit. So, not much more to say on that. It's a good kit. It looks good. I mean, the detail on that is just fantastic. So, for what it is, it's fine. Does the job. And lastly, we've got our infantry sprue. Now, I know for a fact that this is the Soviet infantry sprue that existed when I was getting into the game, and it's fantastic. You've got your machine gunners, your riflemen, you've got your officers who have PPSH submachine guns, ones without. Unfortunately, one of the things about this plastic, you've also got your machine gunners, your Maxim machine guns, because a lot of the Soviet companies allow you to, battalions actually, allow you to add extra machine guns, like 1 or 2 extra machine guns. Let's see, yep. You also get your commissar teams, which is always nice. Because every battalion has a commissar. Other than that, it's pretty basic. It is a bit of a shame that they don't have the submachine gun companies and battalions in plastic. As far as I know, they might be, and I just haven't gotten any yet and seen any yet. If they are out there, please let me know. I will love to go out and pick one up so I can review it. I also just need some machine gunners. I'm starting to put together my Soviet army finally, and so that would be nice. Anyways, that covers the Soviets, so now on to the Germans. Alright, so the Germans. The Germans actually have one less unique kit than the Soviets do. The Soviets have the T-34, the IS-2, the ISU-152, and the T-34, as well as their infantry, whereas here we only have 3, but as you'll soon see, one of those does make 2 kits, kind of in the same way that the IS-2 152 uses the same hull as the IS-2. We'll get into that. So we'll start off, we'll begin with a kit that I'm really excited to see in plastic, because I've only ever seen these in resin and metal, and that is this, what I'm pretty sure is a brand new plastic Jagd Tiger kit. And I think one of the ways I can tell that it's brand new is, I mean, just look at that detail. I have not seen, you know, the older kits like that IS-2 are good, but this is just beautiful. I mean, everything, the rivets around the hatchway there, the detailing on the roof, the engine, that beautiful engine bay. You also get, you know, some machine gun MG42. You get your side plates. I mean, look at those side plates, the sides of your hull. We've got over here, we've got your we've got the tracks, which are very nice. I mean, look at all those details. The rivets even on the inset road wheels as well. I don't know if those rivets, but the little bolts on the inset road wheels. We've got lots of nice little bits here. We've got these tracks, lots of track links, which is fantastic. So you can really cover this thing in just spare tracks. We've got the side skirts, because this is basically a Tiger II. We've got the engine bits that go on the back of the back plate of the engine here. It's really nice to see them kind of as a separate part, because it lets them get more detail on that, without that, you know, without having to have as much flash that you have to clean up. And a bucket. That is so cool. You get a little bucket on this thing. That's awesome. So, detail-wise, it's fantastic. In terms of ease of putting this together, this does look like it might be a bit more complicated than your typical Battlefront kit, because you've got your bottom hull, you've got your tracks, you've got your side skirts. That seems pretty normal. You've got your back hull plate. That's pretty normal. I'm used to all that. The thing that makes this one different is you seem to have your top hull, and then these and that have to go on separately to this before this goes on to that. And that isn't too much more work, but there's definitely a lot more parts to this kit. So it's definitely going to be a little bit trickier to build than your typical Battlefront kit. But I do think it's the kind of thing that once you've built one of them, you'll figure it out, and you'll be able to assembly line these things out like crazy. So, yeah. You do also have your main gun there, and yeah. So, ease of use, definitely a bit trickier than your typical Battlefront kit, but that's not saying anything. It's not like a 40k GW kit, which can sometimes be really complicated to the point that you can't even build them without the instructions. Yeah. As for bits, I mean, I already got ecstatic for that bucket. This is the kind of kit that I always want when it comes to bits. I do wish there was some stowage to put onto it, but I can't really complain. You get lots of track links. That's awesome. You can cover this thing in track links. You get that really cool just bucket. You get this really neat looking MG42 Pintle mount to add to it. This is the kind of thing that I love to see for bits. It's not just a couple of, you know, things here and there. It's some useful stuff. It's some extra add-ons. And then, of course, something that you wouldn't even think you'd want until you saw it, and that's that bucket. Where did that bucket go? I love that bucket. Where is it? There it is. I mean, look at that. That's just, it's a detailed bucket. You can even see the little bits of where the handle is like bolted in. That's fantastic. Okay, moving on. Move on to another one that's also, I think, new in plastic, and that's the Jagd Panzer IV. Now, I could be wrong. This could have been out in plastic before the new stuff, but I'm pretty sure this is new. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, because like one of the things is you can't really use the Battlefront date. Oh no, you can. Yeah, you can use the sprue dating, the copyright. So the T-34 is dated 2012. This is dated 2020. So this is brand new. At least brand new as in it came out a few years ago. But it's still new for me because I've never seen it before. And yeah, so. Jagd Panzer IV. Nice detailing on the top hull there. I mean, oh, look at that. Fire extinguisher. I don't know, that's not travel lock. Those are just tools. Look at all those tools on that engine deck there. That's so cool. You also get two different versions of your gun, because I believe the Jagdpanzer IV came in a big gun and a small gun version. I don't know my details. I'm not too familiar with the Jagdpanzer IV as a vehicle, if I'm honest. You get your travel lock there. You get your tracks, which are very detailed. I mean, you can even see the leaf spring mounts for the Panzer IV suspension there. You have that back hull plate. You've got these little wheels that mount onto that part right there. And look at how detailed those are, so it's some nice bits. Ease of putting this together, this looks very simple. You've got your front, you've got your hull, bottom hull, top hull, two track pieces, some side skirts, your back plate. You pick your gun, you put it into the gun mantle there, that goes onto there, and you're done. So very simple, classic Battlefront kit. Will say, after the loveliness that was that Jagd Tiger, I'm a bit disappointed in the bits from this kit, but I understand, you can't have a lot of extra bits. That makes it a bigger sprue, brings up the cost to produce, so this is good. I like this. Not my favorite kit from them, but it's definitely a solid one. And lastly, for vehicles, the Panther / Jagd Panther. So this is another one, I think, where's the, so this one actually goes back to 2012. So this is one of those older kits, but it's a nice one. I mean, you got some decent detail on there. Oh, actually, for one of their 2012 ones, it's very nice. The 2012 kits aren't actually that bad. I think they've just, however they produce them, has just gotten better to the point that I just feel like there is more detail, but I could also just be wowed by the fact that I've never actually seen one of these kits before. Or this top part might be new. I could be wrong about that though. But we've got the Panther top here. That's very nice, very detailed. You've got your bottom hull, you've got your side skirts there. You can see you've got some extra track links for bits. You've got your turret, so you've got the Panther turret. Back hull plate, engine, gun mantlet. Of course, you've got the Jagd Panther hull, which you basically just add the gun mantlet onto and you're good to go. That's what that one is there for, the Jagd Panther. And it's fine. It's good. I like it. It looks fairly easy to build. You do have these, your road wheels here. You're not your road wheels, your track pieces here on this sprue. So, much like the IS-2, you can only build either a Panther or a Jagd Panther. You can't really build two unless you magnetize the hull. You get your a lot of extra bits on this sprue as well. So you've got your engine, exhaust, some mud guards that you can add. You've got your some more track links there, along with that, a lot of track links. That's nice. So, and then you've got your gun options there. So, all in all, seems a decent kit. Looks like it goes together well, like most Battlefront kits. Again, I think whenever you've got one of these dual turret kits, they tend to be a bit more complicated, but this one doesn't look so. It actually looks more akin to like the T-34 / T-3485 kit or the IS-2 kit. So that looks easy enough. Comes with a decent amount of bits. Doesn't lack some of the funner ones like that bucket or a log or something like that. But other than that, it's perfectly fine to me. I like it. I look forward to building some. I've never actually built a Panther before, so I look forward to building some of these and getting a much better idea of how these actually go together. But all in all, looks solid. German infantry. I'm very familiar with you. Very detailed. I'm going to be honest, Battlefront's plastic infantry are my favorite. They don't break. They break easily, which is annoying, so like the ends of their guns are prone to break off, but I'm not sure which I prefer, them just breaking off or them bending and messing up your paint job and getting all like wiggly like they do with a lot of the metal ones. It's kind of a lose-lose situation, but it is what it is. You do get a lot of your options. You get your riflemen, you've got guy with a grenade, you've got your machine gunners, your ammo carriers, your NCOs with their submachine guns. I don't think you get any officers on this sprue. I think that's a unique bit that comes in the main company sprue, or platoon sprue. You get like this tiny little like sprue. It's like yay big, yay wide. Has an officer, your radio man, stuff like that for doing your command teams. This seems to be missing that, but that doesn't surprise me. It's only meant to build like I think 1, 2 Panzer Grenadier platoons that you add onto your German force. But yeah, that's it. That's everything. It's a solid box filled with some really nice kits. I'm always in love with Battlefront stuff. I think their quality, their ease of use, the little bits of extra stuff, because even the ones that don't come with a lot of extra bits do still come with extra bits, and there's something to be said about that. Something to be said about being able to glue little things on and make each tank kind of just that little bit unique versus all your others. And there's definitely, you could look at a Warhammer 40k and the Lehman Ross, which there's basically one way to build a Lehman Ross, and it doesn't come with anything extra. If you want to greeble it up, you have to look into your bit bin and stuff, whereas each one of these comes with some extra bits, and if you don't choose to add them to these vehicles, you can cut them off, put them in a little bits baggie, and then you can glue those onto any other similar vehicle later. So that's always nice to see. So yeah, that pretty much covers everything in the Clash of Steel box. I think it's a great collection of model kits. 100% recommend, both from like if you're just looking for a bunch of little 15mm kits to buy, maybe make a little diorama, this is great for that. If you're looking for a good value for money, it's great on that too. Watch Alan's unboxing video; he goes over that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Please comment, and if you want to see more of our crap, comment and subscribe. Have a good night.